It is moving day here at the Carrot Top Championship. We've got Necedah Golf Club by Mayday, as it has been all week, and we sit on the outskirts of the top 10 through 2, so a pretty solid start to the tournament by all standards. We're moving back to the blue tees this round here. Very high winds out of the northeast, so winds have been steadily picking up over the course of this tournament. Fairways are firm, pardon me. Greens are soft and slow, so kind of an interesting combination here with the wind. If we can make it through the very high winds and be somewhat precise, I feel like there's a lot of pin hunting to be had. Obviously, we're going to need our swing to be on point. But I think for this first hole here, we can just try and get it down the fairway, split the bunkers, and give ourselves a short one in. We're a little bit on the fast side, which is kind of where we were starting to eke at the end of our warm-up rounds. Hopefully we can slow ourselves down, get ourselves calm, and make some nice approach shots. So if we can put up a nice round 3 here, there's a chance to move up into the top 10 and really set ourselves up. Not necessarily maybe for a win, but to clear the last 2 demotion marks would be a really, really nice way to go in plat here. We've been battling our way back from the bottom, starting to find our stride here in recent weeks. Let's see here. If I go full lofts, we're going to go about 92 yards. We have got about 13 miles an hour wind or so at the back off the side. So say maybe somewhere in the ballpark of like 6 yards. So 98, gonna be soft and slow, gonna want to spin back. I think we just give it a few more here. Try and make sure that this sits down. Everything on this is gonna want to fire right, go back left. This will be a nice feeder shot. Baby fast. Alright, so I should have played it. It's kind of one of those, you know, I give a little bit less respect to the wind there, I guess, with it being diagonals, but on very high that just sails a little bit longer. Be interesting to see here, given that it's slow greens, how much does this actually break? We're going to have to hit this with relative pace towards the hole, I believe. I feel like that's a little bit low side. So I don't want to neglect it too much, because I do think this is still going to turn. And would you look at that, we still managed to miss it low. So, unfortunate, because I do feel like this is a round that should be very gettable, despite the very high winds. Just, I don't know, slow and soft greens, to me, screams scoring. But at the end of the day, we've got to hit our shots. Now, we have options here. It's a pretty tight window. If we're able to clear this bunker, we're going to leave ourselves a pitch shot. If we lay it back, we're going to have probably a wedge in hand. I don't know. We played it up into the bunker in the last round. I think with it downhill, downwind, you do get up there. It just feels like a more dangerous shot. I'm gonna play this a little bit safe. I don't know if this is the play. But I think we should be able to play this back here. Honestly, gets down a good ways more than I thought, so kind of on the riskier side. But now let's see what we can do with it, because if we can get this with the higher loft and like less spin, you're able to just sit this down pretty softly. So 108, you've got like 14 miles an hour of wind feel like I underread it last time, but this time we're uphill a little bit more, so I don't necessarily want to go... I already want to say that this is quite a few yards short. So let's just think about this. Sand wedge, if it plays pin high and then you get the wind... I think you gotta play it in a way that you hit some serious loft. I don't know where these fasts are coming from. The swing's getting just a little bit out of sorts. And so now we find ourselves with another long putt in. Gonna give myself a little bit of fan, try and cool off. All right, so we underread that last one. I'm gonna have to maybe try and read these more in line with how we read the medium or the moderate putts. So let's give this the pace. Something like that. Come on. No way, man. Ah, that stings. Okay, so that's two where we just miss them low side. But we're also not... It's also two not so great approach shots to begin with, so... Definitely less than ideal. Alright. Gotta kind of skirt this one left of the bunker. That felt good. That felt good. Wind's gonna bring it back around. I think we're far enough left, we're not gonna kick into that. And just run it out nicely. Now, I don't know if we're gonna have a chance at this green here. 277, so... I think with the soft and slow, you have to go for it. I know that if you go long, you're not in a good spot, but I don't know, just still feels like something that we need to chase after. Hey, what's going on, Marky? We're doing well. We're doing well. The golf's off to a slightly rocky start. But we cannot complain. All right. That just fired so far to the right, and the wind never touched it. That's crazy. What? I feel like I'm missing something there. I guess the wind was never touching that? I don't know. I'm a little stumped, to be honest with you. I couldn't play that any shorter, though, to stop it. As much as I want to play that lofted to get the stop going. Come on. Come on. Okay. Steady the ship a little bit. Now we did go 3 pars to start on round 1 and managed a 12 under. So you know, hope is not fully lost by any stretch, but starts to get a little bit dicey. Now, this is probably about 16-mile-an-hour winds, so let's call it 222. This is probably going back somewhere in here. I think we have to just play it on the side of caution a little bit and just play out to the right of the hole. That's fast, but it might be okay because you're into just such a high wind. I mean, we were playing that on the safe side, right? So the fast is still right of the hole, which just goes to show you like how strong that wind is, especially as you're playing it into a downhill. That was pacey. That was pacey. I think the one thing that I tend to forget is on slow greens like this, when you overpower it, it's like such a big chunk that it plays with some serious pace. So that's something that I need to be mindful of. Okay, so if we go and pound this, say, down to this bunker, then we're into that flop shot territory. I think that's somewhere we are okay being. Like, I don't think it matters where exactly. I think so long as we're down in this bunker here, that this is the place that we want to be. We've, like, intentionally missed the fairway on this hole every single round. Hey, what's going on, Matt? Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody, from Matt's. We are just getting started here into our Platinum Tour Round 3. Slow start. Par, but we've turned it around since birdie through the third and fourth hole. Trying to turn that into a little bit more here. 70% is going to be 27? 26? Now it's time for Eagle Posse. Yeah, let's start by holing this one out. What's going on, Posse? All right, take 9 off, 36, 35. We're gonna flop the sand wedge here. It's soft though, so like, let's just think about this for a second. Let's give it like a little bit there. Hey, what's going on, Lockshead? Little slow, but the distance is very, very good. The distance is very, very good. So let's convert this, get a birdie, and then move on. It breaks so much, I hate it here. It breaks so much, I hate it here. Okay. Gave me 4 holes to gather myself, and we did. We did. We went par, birdie. Now we're on birdie number 3 here, so we've gathered ourselves at least a little bit. As much as you hate 16 under. Well, we took the par in the beginning, so we can go 16 straight birdies for you. Yeah, just figured we'd get it out of the way. I'm a little bit nervous about this tree, if I'm being completely honest. I have to expect it to go up and over, right? Like, it's just visual deception. That wind mathematically didn't add anything. Okay. Now we're low, but that's good distance control. It just hung out a little bit low side. You've seen some bad math today. Well, that's just like, that wind is like just barely tailing. I thought we'd get enough to at least get to the front of the green, but that just lands and entirely dies on the fringe. So not great, but I also am trying to think, like, if we would have taken the 6-iron there, I think we would have had to play it in a way where we start lofting the 6 a little bit, and that would probably not work out the way that I wanted it to. Well, that one wasn't even, like, the wind moving or anything. It was just a misjudge on how it was going to even play to begin with. We play this back to like 192, 191, 15 miles an hour of wind, but honestly, this could play like 6 or 7. All of a sudden, you're saying 6-iron lands here on softs. I don't love like the thought of going up to this, but we might just have to. I hit it pull fast. So, like, distance is going to be really nice, but I'm going to be, like, 20 yards left of the hole. That's more like 15, 16, but... that's tough. That's tough. Swing plane just off the mark enough. Okay, so we gotta play this... Let's see, we want to, if we land it like somewhere in here and let it release the last little bit of the way. That's long. That's not good. Come on, slows. Do your thing. Overpowered it. As much, I know it's funny, like, you talk about softs and soft, slow greens should be easy, but it definitely can get in your head a little bit. You know, I think for myself, I come in with the mindset of, like, everything's just going to stop immediately. But you can very easily overshoot things and, like, expect things to just throw the brakes on, and that very much so not be the case. Good save. I definitely did not. It's soft slow. Soft slow greens. That is not in my vernacular locks. All right, so we took the shorter club there. Now the question becomes, like, we're probably wanting to roll this up. The pitching wedge pitch. It's gonna release, right? But it's slow. Now we just have to get this slider to drop. Now we just have to get this slider to drop. Oh boy. It's just like, it's a feel putt, and I feel like I hate this putt. Because I do. Like, it's just, there's still so much movement in it. I feel like that should be my answer, though. Yeah, oh, do you putt, do you count, or do you... do you just go based on feel? And, like, sometimes I do go based on feel, and I feel like I hate it. Alright, now I have to remember, very high... And I think that's the trippy part, is, like, these are really low, very high winds most of the time. Like, the fact that we're, like, kind of floating in 13 to 15 mile an hour ballpark, but it's very high, like, I feel like that multiplier still plays more, or should play more. So it's kind of... Give you some tiger vision? If only. If only it were that easy. But, like, I could very easily take this 13 mile an hour wind and say, well, it's very high, so that means it's gonna play 20 yards. Right, and that's 166. Like, I think we're in between clubs here. I guess I can give this quite a bit of D-loft on the 8. But I don't know, this just feels uncomfortable to me. And we actually get the distance. Ended up, I guess, hitting a straight ball. This is definitely fringe. But the game is classifying it as green. And I don't know if I should putt this or not. I'm scared because if I putt this and, like, this doesn't count as fair, we're gonna go so far past the hole. Like, so far past the hole. This is, I don't like this, but we kind of are, our hand is kind of forced. Yeah, like, look at that. Just so far past the hole. I can't guarantee that hitting a chip there is gonna go in, but yeah, this is definitely playing. Oh, so there's a snap in the wind, but I think it snaps back. I'm like 99% sure this goes from this to facing the other way again. I don't really want to If we're gonna snap from away to here, like, I kind of don't want to... I mean, I guess we could look and see what it's gonna be. Still gonna get a full wedge. I mean, you're getting a pitch shot if you go in there. Angle's definitely better from where we're at. Sure, I'll take the... I'm not gonna wait any longer. We'll take the full wedge in. We'll take the full wedge in. Of course, we're right in between clubs. Okay, lob wedge. How much wind do we got? Like 15? We'll call it 15 miles an hour. That wind is slightly in. I'm gonna try and play D-loft and hopefully get this up closer to the hole. Baby fast is gonna really take it long though. 'Cause that's, I guess it's a little bit more than a baby fast. Get a couple extra yards out of that one. But this is still, I guess, into a makeable spot, right? So I think this is something in the lines of get it going, something out here, and watch it just like turn into the hole at the end. I don't love that. I don't love that. We carry the pace, we sink the putt, but like the way these putts are breaking at the end, I feel like that's how a lot of them are going, is like we get these slow greens, we hit it, it ends up being like pacier than we expect and like way more break right at the very end of the putt. It's tripping me up. I feel like moderates are my sweet spot, and then we go to 155s and higher, or we go to like down below to the 117, and I start to lose it a little bit. All right, let's call it like 14. All right, 14 is gonna play 192, that's long, or 182, that's short. Can try and... I think given just a little bit of D-loft to the 6. Is probably better. Though that wind not really being super favorable. Man, it just doesn't go. Like, I guess I should be going aggressive with the 5 and trying to sit it, because these things just don't roll. As much as I like try and will it to, it just doesn't. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit less here because we definitely hit these firmer. All right, I gotta play this out more. They've just been snapping on me at the end. So forgive me, game, if I go too high. It's still low. It's still low. I play more break until I miss on the high side. I definitely do miss putts more low than high, Scholars. That is big facts. Because I don't see it. I feel like I'm on the right line, and then I don't know if I'm misreading it early or if it's breaking more at the end. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm reading the break at the end correct, but I've taken too low of a line to get there. Or if it's that I'm reading the first part right and the last part just is always breaking more on me. So round 4, I think, is in here. That'll be nice. But round 3 in this front part... I'm going to go for it. Like, we should be able to get down somewhere close. I think this is the type of thing if we overpower it just a little bit, we might be able to even find the green. Well, that sucks. Because we hit a really good shot. Now we gotta chip it down the hill out of the heavy rough. Okay, so let's think about what we've got with this shot from here, and then we'll kind of work it back. Because it's going to roll out of the heavy rough, but it's also a little bit slower. So if we aim it at the hole, back a foot, 80%, it's like 3 yards, and then a little bit of the loft. So I would think we need to aim at something like here. Still too low. In my head, that's just turning over way more, but I'll definitely take the birdie and move along. If we play that a little more right, we have an eagle putt at it. I know it's going to be a tough one down to the hole, just given the way that all went, but man, that would have been pretty sweet to have a little bit of a look. Ooh, almost kissed the tree there. Almost kissed the tree. Think a bit higher, just a bit more. Watch it go. Yeah, and like I'm not a good putter, Scholars. There's just something fundamentally that I don't see a lot of the time, which is why I try and count. But my counts are low on the ones with more break. So it's like as the break starts to go up, I just tend to not read enough by clearly a very small margin. You know, we're definitely not far off the mark, but certainly enough. Now this one is tough. This is certainly catching us out because 214, you're at like 209 yards before you even factor the wind into this. I'm probably landing about 9 yards short into that uphill. I'm your favorite putter. I'm going to call that a lapse in judgment, but thank you. Oh boy. Okay. 232, 227. Give it another little bit. We're way long. Go full loft and a touch of backspin. Maybe slow, but like, how's the distance? Not terrible. All right, Scholars, we're gonna make this one for you. Redeem ourselves. Nope. Gosh darn it. It's just always more. Even when I think I'm playing more. More is just never actually more. I don't know. I really don't. I guess we should just chip it, right? Just break so much early. Alright, 15 on the day. We'll call it 12, right? Just, we're out to 198, we're out to 203. So 7 iron landing, like, 3 yards before the hole. It's a good strike, decent line, little bit left. Should be good distance, yeah? It's like you've got wind at the back and everything. The fact that that almost misses low on me, like, is what makes me just concerned about taking anything at face value. But then even when we read it, I feel like we miss stuff. So I don't know. Putting is a very finicky thing for us. Oh, slowed it. Somehow able to keep that still. Favorite semi-bot? Yeah, we show flashes of it. And then I quickly remind everybody that I am human. It's one of my skill sets. Okay, so stretching clubs has been inherently a mistake for me. So let's go up a club. Let's call this 186, 179, 178. Say the 6 iron's a little bit long, just give it a little bit of loft. And then we're gonna fire this out to the right. Let the wind bring it back. Well, the fast is gonna help bring it back. Okay, so like that's really good distance control. Now obviously we miss our tempo. Tempo brings us back over this way. Just never go full bot, but full bot sounds pretty good in terms of, you know, the competitive side of this. I feel like that would be a pretty solid advantage to have on the competition. Slow greens, the default power, I think, just is not it. I just don't think the default power is it, because I keep running into this issue of, like, my pace feels like I'm absolutely hammering every putt no matter what distance. Winning's overrated? Remember content creator and drama? Dramas, yeah. You're right, gotta be full send on the drama. You're driving? Okay, I'm judging you for that. I'm judging you for that. Shouldn't be typing and watching. That's just not. 260. So driver off the deck. I think somewhere like here. Just send it. Alright, that's fine. Admittedly, I tend to add a little bit too much to these. I don't know if I screwed myself. Okay. It's doable. It's doable. Now, this is what we have to make a good read. I think this will be a good read. It's gonna be short, actually. Said downhill a foot, but that was a very low foot. So this is just a bump. So we're just gonna hit it center cup. All right, we're 8 under. This is, I don't know, it's like, it's really odd. This is like playing way more difficult than I would expect. Like, it's not the very high winds, I don't think. I mean, we're making some of the shots, but we're definitely running into some issues on these greens. Like, I would think 117s or something that, like, oh, it slows, but no, it still plays pretty tough, and ironically is gonna be our lowest scoring round unless we pull off like birdie eagle here to go somewhere in like 11. No, I guess we shot 12-14, so it's still worst, but still not bad. It's just like it's a really a mind trip. $87, back a few yards. 83, 5 yards. Wood at the back. I feel like this just wants to travel still. How does that end up so short? Like, there's something here where I don't think the wind is playing quite as much as I put like a touch of back spin and loft on it, and it went so much shorter. Serious about 16 straight birdies? That's always the goal. The goal is to just lay the birdies on, you know? Alright, we're gonna play this as a little bit more break. Just like trying to feel this one out. Like, is it gonna... I gotta play it just a touch more. I cannot win. The slow greens have gotten the best of me. The slow greens have gotten the best of me. Every single one has looked like that. I think I've lipped. I've like actually lipped out a few of them. Like actual lip outs on a few of these putts, and just a lot that like I can't get a feel for. It's like no matter what I do, it's just always wrong. But you know, sometimes we're gonna have rounds like this. Like I think that's ultimately the thing I have to remind myself of. And we're going for it. We're going for it. That baby slow. Gosh darn it. All right, short-sided chip. Perfect. Maybe even baby fast, but I guess now thinking about that, asking quite a bit of it. So only slightly uphill. Slight uphill, the 2 feet. Oh, I left it short. Oh, what a hop, though. Do not like this, Sam I am, but come on, let's get to 35. Let's get to 35. We gotta make something of this. We make a putt! We end on a high note. Alright, so we went every other hole. Chopping it up pretty much every other hole. The start there, we clumped 3 together, but that's 9 under. Just chop up the round. 1 hole good, 1 hole bad, 1 hole good, 1 hole bad. So we drop a little bit there. Unfortunate, like, we're obviously, it's moving day. We're trying to move, but if we just take a quick look at this, proximity wasn't great, but when you're 27% on long putts, like, you just keep lipping them, you just keep barely not making them. Well, ultimately, you're left with what we had here in round 3 today. You know, it is what it is. A lot tougher than we'd like it to have been, but I feel like we fight pretty well there. Get ourselves to 35, and hopefully round 4, the 155 greens I think that they're on come to us just a little bit more naturally than the 117. So we'll find out tomorrow.